This may well be the strangest model kit that I have built to date. Well, I use the term model kit quite loosely, because I think ultimately it was just a bit of fun, particularly given the day that it was released on. But without any further ado, let's get into this video. I'm Matt, this is Model Minutes, and join me on the workbench today as I build the Airfix 1:3 scale paper plane. So this model was actually released as an April Fool's joke on April the 1st of 2024. The files were downloadable from their website, and I'll pop a link below if you would like to get them for yourselves. I think though it was quite a clever joke, and I look forward to seeing if this opens the doors to other free STL files being available to download from mainstream manufacturers. And speaking of the STL files, they were downloaded from the website and then imported at their full size, which would make them 1:3 scale, into the Voxel Dance Tango slicing software. I've been given a free sample of this particular software to try out. I do quite like the auto support generation tool, as it seems to be a little bit more intelligent than other softwares I've used recently. Having saved the file and imported it into the Creality Halot Mage Pro, which is an 8K printer, it was then set to print. For this particular one, I'm just using some Anycubic water wash resin in grey. After a few hours of printing, it was finally finished. I quite like using the Creality Halot Mage Pro. Being an 8K printer, it is suitable for most needs. Once again though, this was a free sample and all opinions remain my own. So having washed and cured the resin parts, and I say parts because there's just two, all of the support material was carefully removed, and then I was ready to begin painting. So for the paper plane, I've decided to go with this Tamiya Fine Surface Primer. This is white and should represent the colour of the original paper. Having applied a few coats of this, I then left it to cure, and whilst that was drying, I decided to use this cheap automotive black gloss spray paint on the display stand. Again, a few thin coats were sprayed onto this part. Now that the paper plane part is fully dry, I decided to mask the areas that I wanted to remain white. I am going for the paint scheme that Airfix released as part of their fake box artwork for this product. I then used Revell Fiery Red to spray the areas that needed to be this particular colour. And then when that was dry, I carefully removed the masking tape. Some Loctite superglue was used to glue the paper plane model onto its shadow stand. I found that the glue did take a little while to dry, and I had to hold it in place whilst it did this. And that's it! That's the entire model. I think all in, apart from printing time, which was a couple of hours, the model took less than an hour to paint and assemble. It is a fun looking model to have on your shelf, and I suppose you could have gone any which way you wanted to with how you painted this one. As mentioned, this model is 1:3 scale and can be downloaded for free from the Airfix website. I particularly like the way the Voxel Dance Tango slicer software managed to support these parts, and it resulted in no failure at all, as I only did this in one go. I did notice that on the lower parts, the support materials did leave some ripples and bumps, but they're not visible in the finished build. I could have sanded these down smoother if they were on more visible surfaces. The Creality Mage Pro as well is a generally fairly easy to use printer, and gives good results despite not being the most highest resolution printer out there. I particularly like the small details that this model features, especially the fold lines where the paper would have folded, and the slight curvature of the material towards the wingtips. There is also some Airfix branding on the wingtips which could be further picked out, but I decided not to bother. If I'm being brutally honest, I think the only area that I had trouble with was that Loctite superglue, which took a little while to bond. Perhaps I need some sort of accelerator to help these resin parts stick together. Generally, I don't normally have much of a problem gluing parts together, but seeing as it was paint on paint rather than resin on resin, it did seem to take a little bit longer, but it did get there in the end. But yeah, what did you think of my build? I can't really say a great deal about this product, seeing as it's not a typical model kit and I can't really do a full review. Naturally, let me know down in the comments what you thought of my build, and if you fancied having a go at this one for yourself. I think this was a pretty fun build, and I hope that this does indeed open the doors to other manufacturers releasing more STL files that we modelers could enjoy and print at home. For now though, I think I'm going to move back to the workbench with some more serious models in some future videos. But as always, a quick shout out to my channel members and patrons for the extra support they give the channel. A massive thanks to these guys on screen. If you'd like to join them, take a look at the links in the description to find out how. Also, there are other ways to help support the channel if you'd like to do so, but the best way to support this channel for free is by subscribing with notifications turned on so you never miss a modelling upload. Finally though, the last thing to say is a massive thank you to you for watching this one, and I'll see you on the workbench again next time.